do something for you, buddy? Not to drive past and look at that poor bastard. Oh well, you know, I'm going to the restaurant. You know, it's like,
yeah.
I'm going to church and then I'm going to the restaurant. I've got no time to, you know, for a beggar. You know, it's
On the way to the temple and ignore the wounded man.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
they were Levites, holy as fuck,
I mean, it's the whole.
and righteous, and
It's like you and me could be possibly the only two people on the whole planet having this conversation right now.
yeah.
You know what I mean? It's so. I mean, Gamble would absolutely be fucking power hurling. He'd be sick, you know, trying to absorb. It'd just be a mess.
Yeah.
Trying to absorb this.
At the
It'd be like, no, you know,
kindergarten level.
Couldn't go there. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
at this.
Out of the box.
Yeah, completely.
Yeah.
They get lost. But the whole fucking world the universe is lost.
Mm.
You know what I mean? And everyone's kind of just got their rose-coloured glasses on and pretending.
And I tell
not.
my viewers that, I says, is anyone else out there like me and my mate? I said, can anybody just come forth and start talking about this? No one leaves a comment about this. It's like every person's got to be a dumbass. They're not even questioning. They must be so busy doing their shit.
And all they have to do is just look at the world and think, hang on, world full of religion, no sign of God, all this preaching, all this poverty and deprivation. What's wrong? But no, they
don't even question.
Don't question it.
Because they're so selfish.
Yeah, well,
and
they're trying to survive. It's this system.
Aren't we all?
Yeah. Well, some of us are living by faith.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Yeah.
The just shall live by faith. The rest of them are trying to survive. Right? But the idea is to live by faith. I just watched this video of this lady had this NDE, and it was full on. Like, first of all she went to hell and got raped by all these demons.
Yeah, raped. Yeah.
And her and these other girls were screaming and raping them to bits in 3 different levels. And then she said a big hand came and got her and took her up to heaven. And then she went into the throne room and saw God on his throne and Jesus, and him and Jesus were laughing, and you know, and she was felt all this love and everything, and then she came back on the operating table and like,
yeah.
So something obviously is like, you know, in something, there's some kind of authority. Obviously, there's some kind of authority that takes over once we get out there, right? That's pretty obvious.
Yeah.
Okay, but the question is, and what we're saying right now is that, yeah, I'm just thinking, like, so, okay, millions of people, all the people watching her video would be thinking that she really went to heaven, right? And saw the angels and God and Jesus and everything. They spoke to her, okay, and why she's 75 foot tall and all everything like that, the whole 9 yards, a big throne. And I've seen a lot of those, right? A lot of those. It's just, there's something wrong. There's something wrong, you know. It's like they keep. There's this theme that coming through, that the authority up there knows that it's really bad down here, but it's kind of like, as far as they're concerned, well, that's not up there, it's down here, and you're going to go back to that, right? And then one day you'll come up here and you won't be in pain anymore. But right now, you're going back to a world of pain. and okay, everyone, oh yeah, and one day no more pain. So it's like, okay, God knows there's pain here. But it's just too much. For God and Jesus to be laughing.
Yeah.
There's too much pain in this world for God and Jesus to be up there laughing.
Yeah.
That's what I mean. So
Yeah,
there's something wrong.
Mm.
It's just that every time there's any experiences, as far as they're concerned, up there, everything's as it should be. Well, I just can't.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it makes me think. So that's why I'm thinking that it's much more mysterious and supernatural and amazing and complex, much more complex than what we think.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's and the little clues like the lamb was slain from before the foundation of the world and things like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I don't have.
Well, that's not my experience. When I was going to
it's-
commit suicide once, when I was younger, I met Jesus in a cave just before his crucifixion. All the apostles, it was dripping, it was slimy, it was muddy, and Jesus looked at me with his deep, dark eyes and he said, "I even died for your suicide." And I wept, and they all wept, and Peter, James, and John, all of them were sitting in this dirty old muddy cave. And he said, "You've got a choice. You can live or you can die." He said, "But," he said, "you haven't yet come unto me."
I think I remember you telling me.
Beautiful dream. Now that he was not laughing. He was sorrowful for what I was about to do. I tried to hang myself at my grandmother's place, and it broke. I had fasted like 3 days without even water, and I was at the stage I was going to go because I was astral traveling and everything. I thought, I'm going out of here.
Okay, so you had a dream, right?
Yeah, that was a dream. I went unconscious because I'd been starving myself.
And what did Jesus say? You just remember?
He told me that I had not yet come unto him, and I needed to know the truth that set me free. I didn't know what the gospel was, and I was still caught up in bloody Mormonism and religion. I knew nothing.
Yeah. See, I didn't want to spend this whole life like believing some nonsense.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know what I mean? And you just, yes, this is the bit this is the layer
Like
of
you
bullshit
said,
I believe.
Like you said, Satan is at his best at causing all these illusions, hallucinations, people having near-death experiences.
That's what I'm thinking. He's
God is
behind a
laughing.
lot of it.
Bullshit. God is not laughing if it's the true God.
No, how
These
could he
people
be?
are being fooled.
How could he be?
Yeah. God is a God of love. He's not laughing.
So, yeah. So this thing about there's too much suffering, right?
Yeah.
To me, what that indicates that, okay, he isn't here. If he was here, there'd be none of this going on, right?
Yep.
So he's nowhere around.
Yep.
In other words, Sludge Boy's got the whole show, the
Yeah.
whole universe,
Yeah,
right?
left for dead.
But
Yeah.
God has a plan.
Yeah.
But this, and it can come through, but I think most 95% of these kind of visions and trips to heaven and that, I seriously doubt a lot of them.
Yep. Yeah, a lot of it's just illusion. Look at Kevin Zadie come back and the angel said Trump was going to get in.
I know.
All bullshit. Falsely deceived. And that bloody, what's his name? Sid Roth?
He's still got
Laughing on the spirit and ha 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 ha.
Yeah.
I mean, what a twit. And he interviews all these bloody prophets. And
That's what I mean. So,
just absolutely
that's exactly what I'm talking about. It's like a circus. But
yeah.
would God make a circus? But Sludge Boy would.
Sludge Boy would.
The whole thing.
Yep.
and they think they're talking to angels.
Yep. Satan is this.
Remember that one? Oh yeah, Gabriel is sitting right over there right now. I can see him right now. Yep, yeah, and he's giving me a thumbs up. Yep, Trump. Yep, he's going to win. Yep.
Yep.
He's sitting right there.
And they speak 99 truths to get across one lie, even fruits of the spirit almost. But the soil is rotten. It's not even the right soil, not the right Jesus. Masquerading of light. Don't look up. That's the prince of the air, the aliens, and all the false religions. You don't look down. That's the snarling demons that get you to prostitution and hard drugs that kill you and hate your fellow man. Don't look up. Don't look down. Look directly ahead, across. There's nothing up and there's nothing down.
It's actually inside.
It's inside. That's it.
In your heart.
Yeah.
Yes. And this big deceit that's coming up.
As the Bible said,
Got to be the UFO.
if you haven't come under the cross, you're a child of the devil. You can talk to people all over the world. You're talking to the child of the devil because they're not listening. They don't care.
We saw Jesus in the rock.
We
He's
saw
in the rock.
Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah,
Both
it's
saw it.
like, yeah, they're just desensitized to the whole thing. The Catholic Church made such a mess of it. You know, such a mess with their fucking torturers and their, you know, the bloody, or those indulgences where you buy your way into heaven and all that stuff.
Yeah.
And all the rape.
So much for apostolic authority.
Killing,
Laws of the land.
burning, the torturings. Yuck. How could it have got so bad?
The beast in man. I should know about it. It's definitely an evil thing. But, well, actually, it's in us. It's not evil until you hate and resent it and start to crucify yourself. It's simply in us. And we can... So we've got to be very careful because Satan can use that creature. We're supposed to give up the creature, become a new creature. I mean, we can't help it that we've got basic instinct, but people just spend a whole life chasing lustful things, sex, money, drug, all that sort of thing. They can't surrender. They can't let anything in that's good. They have to let only in that's deception because it's pleasurable. Pleasure. Yeah, pleasure. But this sausage is pleasure. I mean, food is pleasure. That's one thing we can have. The pleasure of eating. Not a thing, unless you become a glutton. It's not as if God is anti-joy. And you're not worldly if you have a smoke or one-off drink. But if you go to church and you go straight to the pub and watch the footy and get drunk, that's hypocrisy. That's worldly. Obedience. The first laws of hell without grace activated. These people are all righteous and think they're holy. My ass. So righteous and look down on you.
It's just
Anyway.
like a fucking nightmare. There are human in every city, okay, not just say Perth, but in every city, and cities a lot worse. There are human beings living in the open, in tunnels and on streets, and they're rich people. I mean, really, 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 really fucking rich people, right? Who could buy a block of land and put a whole pile of fucking transportables on there, you know, or buy some old motels and hotels and just something, you know. And they've got so much fucking money. What are they going to do with it? and they're not using it to. There are human beings who are dying of exposure, and they fucking know about it. Gina Reinhardt and the rest of them, you know, and they know about it.
Yeah.
This is the obscene nightmare of this world, and everyone's reading their Bible stories and I know this and I believe this and this is how it was and blah blah blah, waffle waffle fucking waffle. Give me your money, you know what I mean? And I've got my stresses and this is the world and this is how it should be and everything and this is what's written, and yet no one is doing anything about this obscene situation where you have all these rich people and all these terribly poor people. Like, and everyone's thinking that that's life. That's reality.
It's a bloody dumbass life.
It's just, but they think that that's reality.
So you and I both had near fatal accidents, and so how come we come back recognising a lot of these deceptions? I mean, we've both been deceived over the years, for sure. Everybody has. But at this age, it seems like we're really focusing on what's really happening and noticing what's happening in this world, and we can see the atrocities of the evils that are being done, even among the religious and the rich, doing nothing. Just they don't care about you and me. They're laughing.
Yeah, that's it. So it's got to be the other seed. This is why it's the only thing that makes sense, right?
Yeah.
They just don't get it. Gina Reinhardt and the rest of them, they're just never going to see that. They're never going to think, oh yeah, I can help those people.
Oh, yeah.
They're never going to think that. Never.
Yeah, but the fundamental grace Christians will say they came from Adam and Eve too. They just haven't come into the cross. She didn't even leave money for her kids, apparently, or something.
Oh, yeah, they're still fighting. I saw something about that the other day. Like, yeah, she's kind of ripped the kids off or something, you know. She ripped her own kids off.
Even Jerry Lewis, the famous comedian actor, like Jim Carrey, he never left anything for his kids. Because they called him schizophrenic, he's a mad hatter.
Yeah, I always felt
he was
sorry.
A bit mad.
I felt
but
sorry
he lived.
for Dean Martin.
Oh, yeah.
Then putting him
Dean
Jerry Lewis. I always thought, poor bastard. He was a serious fucking actor with a great voice and everything, and he made those westerns, and they put him with that fucking idiot. You know, like, as a kid, I think he was funny.
Oh, I like Jerry Lewis because I was a mad kid myself,
Yeah.
so mad kids would love him.
So you were into Jerry Lewis, I was into Dean.
Oh yeah, I could relate to his mental illness.
Yeah, you related to it. I just thought he was a fucking idiot.
But Dean Martin.
Larry. Oh, fuck.
Frank Sinatra was high up in the Knight Templar chain of the Freemasons, Illuminati.
Apparently he was
How many people were killed? He didn't kill anyone, I don't think, but he actually hired hitmen and everything.
Connected with the mafia.
Oh, high up. And he could sing love songs and make a woman cry.
What about Elton John? Sings love songs and makes women cry, and he's talking about a fucking bloke.
Boy, yeah.
And all the heteros are getting off on it.
You know? Love songs for guys.
Blue eyes. He's got blue eyes. Yeah.
Fuck.
I rewrote that. Blue eyes.
Go and sing it.
You know, go blue eyes, baby's got blue eyes, and I'm home again, right? I changed that to scrot eyes, baby's got scrot eyes.
Scrotums.
And I can scratch again. Scrot eyes scratching in the rain, scratching to the pain. Yeah, scrot eye, baby's got scrot eye.
That's funny.
It works, doesn't
Yeah.
it? You remember the Daniel one, don't you?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that's one of my favourites.
Yeah.
I like the Dan's Dot.
Dan's Dot.
Yeah, do you remember it?
Yeah.
Dan's Dot is leaving tonight on a plane. I can see Dan's Dot headed for Spain. Ooh, and I can see Dan's Dot winking goodbye. Oh, it looks like Dan's Dot must be a big turd in my eye. But he said my scrotums are sweaty, and I know what he
A turd, a piece of shit.
Daniel says they're the sweatiest scrotums he's ever seen. Ooh, and He ought to know he's seen them enough. Oh yes, I understand, Dot, even if it was a bit rough.
But I was having a dream. I was in heaven, listening to the heavenly angel choirs, and I come back. As I was coming back, I could Elton John's music was on my radio or CD, and I was so sad and sorrowful. And I thought, what am I coming back to? This guy is singing at the lowest level, and yet he's so well famous, popular. Nothing compared to the angels.
Power of music.
Power of music, yeah.
That's all. And singers have got it so easy. They just open their mouth. They can even be pissed and everything. They just turn up at the gig and
Yeah.
it's there, you know. They just sing. It's so easy.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's the power of music and the power of words. But yeah, so he sang all these songs and the heteros, you know, like gave him all this money for it. It wasn't even for them.
Yeah.
So weird. I was going to say something. Did you hear the rewrite of "Are You Lonesome Tonight"?
No.
It's the werewolf theme song.
Oh.
Okay. Are you howling tonight? Are you growling tonight? Are you furry and down on all fours? Does your memory fade to that day in the glade when you first learned to use your new jaws? Do the hairs on your shoulders get real long at night? Do you stare at my jugular and just long to bite? Do your eyes fill with pain when you smell a wolf bane? Tell me, dear, are you howling tonight? You like that?
Talk about Elvis. He died on the toilet, by the way. I saw the video, yeah. And the toilet's
Are
still
you sure
there.
he's dead?
He had enough money if he... No, he died of a bowel rupture on the toilet. Something terrible.
Michael Jackson was supposed to have had his face changed and he appeared somewhere somewhere and he'd see this face looking out across over these people's shoulders. It was supposed to be Michael Jackson. And you could see it in there. Poor old Elvis. What a bastard.
I've been to his gravesite and he's buried next to his mum and papa. I went there. Grace Mansion. Yeah, I hope he's in heaven because he had a lot of heart of gold, charity and everything.
Yeah, he made those gospel albums.
Ah.
They don't make gospel albums anymore.
Nah.
No.
No.
The old artists, the old school artists, they still had the Bible in their life.
Yeah.
But these new ones, they don't. But up until the 1960s, they all had the Bible in their life, all that music, you know, the Supreme, Motown stuff and everything. You know, it all had some kind of Bible base, the lyrics, everything.
Yeah.
But then after the 60s, it started to lead the music.
You know, I'm related to Elvis. My mum did genealogy, and apparently he's a distant cousin.
Elvis.
And Muhammad Ali, because he'd married his father.
Oh my goodness.
He married his father married a white woman or something. Yeah. Apparently, on the genealogical charts, I'm related. And Princess Diana. Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. I suppose we're all related if we go back far enough.
Yeah. This thing about Noah's grave, I mean, how could it still be there? You know, after all this time, just sitting there untouched. Unless that's, you know, such a remote part of the world that no one ever... See, the Sludge Boy, or Islam, took over that whole area.
Satan. Yeah.
The Middle East, okay?
Yeah.
Garden of Eden, that whole area. Just honed in on it. And so it's kind of, you know, feasible that he didn't want any of that stuff, you know, like uncovered. He just left it all alone, Sodom and Gomorrah and all that. One wife eventually found it all, but you know, like, because you know what happened? This is the story. He found the graves, okay?
Yeah.
Then he couldn't do anything about it right there and then, so he went back to America. And he told people that he'd found Noah's grave, Noah and his wife's grave. Right?
Yeah.
And so he organised, see, that's what he'd do. He'd go to America, then he'd tell people he'd raise funds. He'd say, I'm going back to the Red Sea to find the chariots, whatever, and to look for this and look for that. So I need some money. So he'd find all these people from the church to give him money, and then he'd come back, right? And so he went back and he told all these people that he'd found Noah's grave. So he organised another expedition, but he took a whole group of these people with him to show them, all right? Now, so they all went over there to Saudi Arabia, where it was. And then in the afternoon, it got a bit late. So he said, we're going to go there tomorrow because it's a bit late now. Right? But there was one bloke who in America, when Ron White told him about what he was going to do, he started to think, okay, this could be good. So when Ron White said in the afternoon, okay, we're going to go in tomorrow morning, they all went back to their tents, okay? Well, this fucking one bloke went and found some Arabs, okay? And he described the scene and the setting that Ron White talked about, and he said, do you know where this place is? And they said, yes. So he paid them. So he went with these a couple of Arabs to this place in the afternoon, right? And found the site, dug it up, and there was Noah's wife. And she had all this fucking jewellery on her, all right? So he took it all and then fucked off, left the tour, all right? Took off with the jewellery and everything. And when Ron White came the next day, saw what had happened, okay, and put two and two together and spoke to people and everything, and that's the story. And apparently it's been verified by two other sources that all this jewellery turned up on the black market at that time and connected with this bloke.
Right.
All this jewellery got dumped onto the black market. So it looks like it actually did fucking happen, right? And now when you go there, everything's gone. All the Noah's house is the wall, the grave site, everything's just been picked. Once people found out about it, everyone went there and got a bit of it. So now there's nothing there at all. But Ron White, when you see the original pictures that Ron White took, you can see the little altar, there's a little wall there, there's a hut, and the grave sites, and everything like that, and the altar, but that's all gone now. It's all just been taken away. So, but that's, so the whole thing is super mysterious. It's not this, I'm going to go to work to eat and pay my rent, so some rich people can have a life. That's just a very surface. And these little stories that we read to make us feel better while we're suffering. I wish I had more for you. You know what I mean? Like, but see, this thing about finding out what's really going on and who we are and what we are and everything, I don't think it's not a simple story. Right? It's not simple. But one of the lines of thinking is that there's nothing for us to learn, but there's everything for us to forget. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Yeah. The veil.
We know we have the answers, right? We know everything already. We've just got to forget all this other stuff that's coming on top of that.
I agree with that. Spiritual intelligence.
This is a theme that keeps coming through. I've watched thousands of these fucking things over the last few years.
So you can't tell grace Christians, they'll think we know nothing, like in a sense, there's only one level, there's no progression. Once you're saved, that's it. You know nothing. But the spiritual intelligence can guide us, even until we even become a Christian.
Jesus said the kingdom of heaven is within.
That's right. And he knows his people even before they become a Christian. He's still sending angels to protect them.
But more than that, forever is now. We're in forever.
Yeah.
All the dimensions and everything
Yeah.
is right now.
Yeah.
Right now. So there's nowhere to go. There's nothing
No.
to know.
Yep.
We just need to unknow.
Yep.
We've got to unlearn all this nonsense.
Yep.